So now you've got your bot, your store, and your channel page all looking real good. And if not, you should check the rest of my playlist right up here. But if your stream itself looks a little bland, let's fix that. Hey, what's up everybody? Dimitri of Caddac Gaming here. Today's video, we're going to be going and focusing on setting up your overlays in Streamelements. Going over some simple widgets in addition to showing some examples of things you can do and play around with yourself. If you have any questions about today's video, about gaming, about anything really, I stream Fridays and Tuesdays on Twitch. Link in the video description below. Drop in, say hello. It'd be great to talk to you. If you end up finding today's video helpful, please consider liking and subscribing. It helps me with the YouTube algorithm, and it helps you because you'll get to see my videos that I upload every single Friday, whether it's for streaming, gaming, or general tech. And let's hop right into it. All right, so here we go. Again, as always, we're going to start on our dashboard. And now you're going to go to alerts and overlays, and you're going to go to overlays. We're going to start from, I made this one, but we're going to start from an entirely new overlay here. So you're going to come up to the right hand corner and do create blank overlay. If you have another channel, you can use import from other channels, but everybody will start here. Most likely your base canvas on OBS, if you set it up the way I showed you, is going to be 1080p, so just start off with that. And this is the new Streamelements overlay editor. It is a great improvement over the previous one. A lot more stability, a lot quicker, a lot easier to get to everything. It's pretty great. Lots of information here. So you have a tour that you can take that'll quickly walk you through all these things that I'm going to show you now. And it'll walk you through an interactive way, so you can do that. Up here you have your session data. This basically just gets everything that has happened. It allows you to reset goals. It allows you to change or correct information that has happened on your stream. You can see a lot of your total numbers, and this is where certain variables will grab their information from. So you can check things here and a whole bunch of stuff here as well. So first, we're going to go over setting up an alert box. So to set up an alert box, you click this little plus sign on the bottom, you go to alerts, and you do alert box. So an alert box is anything that you can see here. Anytime a follower, someone subscribes, somebody tips, somebody cheers, somebody hosts, somebody raids, and somebody purchases something. And you can edit these all individually, which is really cool. And there's default videos, right? So these are all the default videos that are on here, and then you can test them by going to emulate. So if I want to emulate a follower, boom. Which is pretty sweet. They didn't used to have these default videos before like this. These ones are really nice to have, make things easy. If you want, you can change it to, say, your own video. My videos are all set up from my overlays, so I don't really have anything that's like alert specified. You can set it just as blank image. You can do all kinds of things. And then here's a variable, right? So you can change what's after that variable pretty easily. And yeah, feel free to change it around. I like having a lot of variations as well. So, you know, when there's a resubscriber, it changes the image and it changes what it says. You know, if someone gifts subs, wait until this one goes away. Right? They have a gift one. So now these are all default images. So you can have like a nice animated overlay alert, you know, without having to actually put any effort into it if you really want to. You can change some of the coloring if you want to, like some of the words here. You can do all kinds of things. So it's really nice that Streamelements, once they updated to this, they added all these defaults in, and it just adds some nice pizzazz and style to your stream without you having to go and like buy anything or do anything like that. There are lots of places that sell stream packs. I personally have used Nerd or Die for mine, and we'll go over those in a bit once we go over my overlays. But there's also lots of places that do free you know, alerts, free panels, free webcam borders, all that kind of stuff. I just really liked this one thing from Nerd or Die, the Glitch V2. I ended up picking it up, and I use a lot of its elements. I've kind of customized it a lot myself, but I really enjoyed like the base elements of it, and I use it to this day. You can actually see the border around me right now is based on that. So yeah, all kinds of things here. So remember, you can change your video, you can change your volume, and you can change your message and then do your variations. You can also allow text-to-speech through here. So when you see those videos of people having really funny text-to-speech messages and stuff, set it up here. I do suggest that if you're going to enable text-to-speech, you have to put a minimum amount, or else people will just spam 10-cent subs, or 10-cent tips, sorry, and you know, people can really take advantage of it. Set it to like $1, $2, $5, so at least it's a little bit less of a reason for them to want to like just like spam it if someone's going to go ahead and do that. But yeah, that's the alert box. All kinds of variations for all of these, and there are variations pre-set up, right? So there are variations pre-set up here, but then there's also, you can just use one. So you can do it from the amount or the name. So if you have someone who donates a lot and you want to give them a specific alert when they donate to you or tip, you can do like an exact username, and they'll have their own sound, they'll have their own video if you want, they'll have their own message, all kinds of things. You can really play around with it and have fun. So those are the text alerts. Well, that's the alert box. And normally you can set it up so that it's like, you know, basically centered. You can add the snapping on or off, right? Try to center it. I usually make it so that the window's a little bit smaller so that I have a better understanding of where everything is. But you can do it like that, or you can do like, if you don't really care and you like having your alerts across your whole screen, you can do that as well. And now, you know, it'll cover your whole screen. That's a lot, right? Personally, that would be a little bit too large. But it's entirely up to you. That's the nice thing about this. You can play around with it as much as you want. Make sure, however, whenever you do some big changes, make sure you come up and save it. And when you save it, the first time you save it, you got to put a name. So let's just do test. When you save, make sure saved pops up down here. If it just constantly says saving, there is too much code going on in your overlay, and you'll have to split things out. Most people won't get to that, but if you end up using custom overlays like I have, where my alerts box is made by Nerd or Die, and it has their own custom videos and color changing and all that kind of stuff, there's so much code there that it reaches the maximum for a single overlay, and I had to split things apart. So keep that in mind. Make sure it says save before you leave. When you try to leave, if it doesn't warn you that you haven't saved yet, then you're fine. But if I go and let's say I go and add a label, let's say my latest subscriber, I add that. See how it says changes you made have not been saved? If you leave now, that's not going to be there. So you have to make sure that you click save and that it says saved before you leave. Okay? But that is a good way to lead on to the next part. So there's a whole bunch of other alerts here. If you set up the merch store, you can set up a merchandise specific alert box, but you can also include that in the regular alert box, right? So there's purchases here. You can use that and you don't have to have a separate one. There is also the hype cup, which I'm sure you've probably seen on people's streams before. This is like a cup image, and it fills up when people, you know, follow, when people subscribe. So you see, it'll start to fill up here. And there's all kinds of images and so on and so forth that you can use for these cups. I personally don't use one, but if you have empty space on your stream, it's a great way to utilize that empty space. So if you end up playing a game where say this window is your game screen, and then you have a bunch of extra space on the right side and the bottom side, you can throw a hype cup in there and utilize that space efficiently by giving people something to look at and something that interacts with what they do. That also goes towards the hype boss. So a hype boss is like an HP thing, and when people go and subscribe to you, it takes damage off, and then they can kill the hype boss. So, you know, every time they kill it, it comes back and it's stronger every single time. Or right now it's only rotating between 2. But it's pretty cool. People have created really cool custom hype bosses where they're like little emotes that like run across the screen and like make it their way to like a boss at the end. Harris Heller from Alpha Gaming and Sam Woodhull, his editor, have made some really great hype related widgets that you can add right into your Streamelements if you want to. Go ahead, and I will leave links to their Discord in the video description below. In their Discord, they have channels specific for free widgets, free designs, free templates, and all that kind of stuff. So I highly suggest you use them. I've personally used a lot of them myself, and I will show you some elements of that once we get to the examples on my overlays. Another section is Kappagen. If you've ever watched my streams, you'll see, you know, an explosion of emotes that happen when somebody does something. So someone subscribes, you'll see a whole bunch of the emotes pop out. I just do it because it's funny, and my emotes are pictures of my face and people hate it. So that's why I've added it. It's another one of those things that really adds to your stream if you want to, but it can really take away from your stream if it's too much and if it doesn't really fit the theme of your stream. My stream is just, I'm a dumbass, and I do dumb things, and all of my alerts are just to make people laugh. So you've got that. Again, so these are more redemptions, another merch alert box, and the hype boss, which is what I showed you. These two parts can be a part of the alert box, so you don't really need them to be separate. These are just if you want them to be separate. Engagement, I don't use engagement stuff too often, but I do usually do a countdown when I do like a New Year's stream, for example. Or, you know, if you were doing a birthday stream, you can do a countdown to, you know, midnight when it's your birthday. If you end up doing any contests or giveaways, you can show that there. Media request is something that if you want and you're going to allow people to request YouTube videos to play on your stream, you can put that there. I personally don't use that. I don't really have a just chatting element to my stream. Maybe if I get to that point, I'll do it, but I still don't think I would go through the media request. I think I would just end up going through, if you tip a certain amount, I'll play a video on my stream as long as I get to review it really quickly first to make sure it's not inappropriate. So labels are really great. So when you see people that have like created a really nice design where it says top follower, or sorry, newest follower, that's from here, right? So this will automatically grab your latest follower, right? And all of these grab from that data section that I showed you earlier. It'll grab from all these totals, it'll grab from all these labels, so it'll show the most recent tipper, most recent subscribers, most recent cheers, all that kind of stuff. That's where this grabs information from. So if I remove somebody from that data list, they will no longer appear as the most recent. So if someone donates with a really inappropriate name and you don't want that name to be there, you go into the data, right? And then you just click X on their name and you get rid of it, and it'll get rid of it from the label as well. So there's all kinds of labels here, and you can utilize them to be implemented with images and stuff that you have. So a lot of people create those images that say top follower, sorry, most recent follower, top tipper, top gifting, top sub gifter, for example. So you can create all of those in like an image editing program like Photoshop or Paint or Paint.net or any one of those online sites. And you can utilize those and create really nice designs, and then just use these labels to have the dynamic element to it where it changes whenever people interact with your stream. You can add text boxes and images. So if you want something like my logo here, you would just add a static image, and you would make sure that it has a transparent background so that it's not just like a huge box and your handle, like everything can still appear behind it, doesn't look really bad. And you can also import custom widgets, which is what I will show you in a bit, and it is what a lot of the stuff on Sam and Harris's Discords are all basically custom widgets, but you don't go through here. You can actually just fully import a widget via an overlay, and then you can copy it over to another overlay, and I'll show you how to do that in a second as well. The charity and the seasonal stuff, I have never personally used any of these, but they can be a lot of fun. I have seen a lot of people use the charity ones for the Extra Life, and these ones are really great because they link directly to Extra Life and all that kind of stuff. So if people donate through those services, then it'll show up on your stream, and it's a great way to do that as well. And then just having your streams chat. If you're doing a lot of just chatting and stuff, it's a great thing to have. If you're doing games where there's a lot of reactions from your viewers, it's a great thing to have on stream. You can play with it. You can change the opacity. You can do all kinds of stuff. Really great way to do that. And I'll show you now, if you want to move this to another overlay, you just go to duplicate, and then you do other overlay, and you can move it to any of the other overlays that you have. So let me quickly show you some of my personal overlays and some of the ones that I've used elements from Harris's and Sam's widgets that they have on their Discords. So my webcam, for example, has a bunch of them. Most importantly, it has the rotating feed, the alpha rotating feed. So if you go into the Alpha Gaming Discord, it'll be called the alpha rotating feed. This thing is great. It allows me to I used to have a very big bulky overlay, and I wanted to simplify it, and this was the best way to simplify it, so that if you actually go here, I'm going to show you what my overlay looks like now. So this is what my gaming overlay looks like. So it used to be very popular for people to have those huge bars on the bottom of their stream or the top of their stream. Top follower, most recent follower, top donator, most recent subscriber, all those kinds of things. And it took up a lot of space, and it really takes away from you as the streamer. And it really takes away from the game. It covers a lot of the UI, all that kind of stuff. And I personally don't like that. And I used to have a lot of bulk underneath my webcam, and I used to have an event tracker up in the top corner, but I thought about condensing it and making everything a little bit more simple. So now I have this rotating overlay below me where it rotates between showing how many subscribers I have, how many followers I have, and then my goal for subscribers. And then it goes through my most recent tipper, my most recent sub, most recent raid, and most recent cheer. And then I also have images for my Twitter, Discord, and YouTube, so that you know that I have those. And it shows you the actual social media name up in the top left corner, which is another one that they have created. And another really fun aspect of this is this badge metric. So Sam created this really cool badge metric so that when somebody subscribes to me, boom, it updates that number. And now over the course of my stream, it'll rotate that and it'll show how many subs per stream I have. So if somebody subscribes again, now we're going up to 2, and it resets per session, which is really awesome. I really like it. And I've implemented multiple things to try to condense my information on my overlay into a very small package so that it's only where my webcam is. It doesn't cover any of the rest of the screen. If I have to move my my camera over for a specific game, I can quickly do that. And I've set up like multiple preset cam positions, right? So that I have all these things set out, and I can, you know, kind of utilize things and move things quickly, and I can easily just add a new one and move into the middle if I wanted to. So I just wanted you to keep that in mind. And that's it for the most part. I'll quickly show you how to add the overlay into OBS and get it ready for your stream. All right, so now that we got OBS open, you're gonna go to add, and then you're gonna go to browser source, okay? You're gonna name it whatever you want to call it. So let's call this one alerts. And now you're gonna go and grab your URL. So you're gonna go back to Streamelements, and I'm gonna grab my alerts one here. You can grab it directly from inside the editor by clicking on this link icon here, or you can click the 3 buttons here and do copy URL, okay? So you're gonna paste it here. We did 1080p, so 1920 by 1080. And then you're gonna get rid of this custom CSS in the middle here. And you're gonna do shutdown source when not visible. And what that does is, if you don't have that shut down, multiple alert sounds will stack on top of one another, and you don't want that. So you're gonna want it to shut down, and then what you'll notice is that your overlay won't load immediately if you just switch between one scene to another. So I'll show you what that looks like by going back to my scene collection here. So see how it took a couple seconds for my overlay to load, and if I switch over to another one, it takes a couple seconds for everything to load. The way to get around that is to actually use studio mode. So if you use studio mode, it'll preload the overlay so that when you go over, everything's already there, right? Boom, nice and quick. Studio mode is a really great way to kind of move things around and get things ready before moving it over. But if you cannot risk using the extra resources, because studio mode does use more, the larger you have your preview, the more CPU and GPU your OBS will use. And then again, if you have 2 of them open, it'll utilize even more. So you have to be aware of that. But if you can use it, it's a great way to do so. And I highly suggest it. And that's basically it, to be honest with you. If you have any questions about today's video, feel free to leave a comment in the section below, or go ahead and join my Discord. We got people who stream all different types of content, from DJs to artists to gamers. We got people who don't stream. We got tech heads. We got it all. You can share your memes. You can share pictures of dogs. You can share pictures of food. We'd love to have you there. Link in the description below. And I'll see you guys next Friday with another video. I have a special sound I just set up for it. But 70. Oh shit! Hold on.
I don't have enough money for chicken nugget.
Did he do it?
That's amazing.
There's 3 mid, by the way. That was a good take, Dimitri.